Hello, thank you for joining my channel. My name is Parisa. Today's video is all about 5 different flower types beginning with the letter N, part of the A to Z flower series. I've also made other flower facts videos, so check those out too if you like this video. Follow my Instagram called Parisa Flowers, where flower posts are regularly uploaded. Remember to subscribe to this channel and click the post notifications bell icon so you never miss an upload. Without further ado, let's get started with this video. First flower beginning with the letter N that I'm going to be talking about is the Nelumbo, and the meaning of this is grace, fertility and purity. The colours that it comes in is pink and white for the Nelumbo nucifera, and for the Nelumbo lutea the species is yellow, and the blooming time for this species is July to August. Some interesting facts about the Nelumbo is that there are only 2 species of Nelumbo, called Nelumbo lutea and Nelumbo nucifera, and they belong to the Nelumbonaceae family, and they are native to Australia, America and tropical Asia. They grow in mud of ponds, lagoons, swamps and waterlogged fields. They attract insects and birds. The Nelumbo genus has its own family called Nelumbonaceae because it doesn't have underwater leaves. In Asia, the Nelumbo nucifera is known as the sacred lotus, as it is used by Hindus and Buddhists as it is symbolic. It is a national flower of Vietnam and India, and ancient India has a lot of history and art with the Nelumbo flower, and the flower can be used for therapeutic, food and beverage and ornamental purposes. For medicine, the Nelumbo flower is used in traditional Asian medicine to cure cancer, diarrhea, mushroom poisoning, fever, nausea, halitosis, hepatotoxicity and obesity. How do you grow the Nelumbo? So in terms of watering, you don't need to water them as they grow in water rather than soil, and the sunlight that they require is a lot of sunlight, and full sun will allow them to grow best. And the food that you should give them is aquatic fertilizer once a month, and then when the leaves have grown, remove them for more growth to happen. The second flower beginning with the letter N is the Nemesia, and the meaning of this is friendship, and it comes from the Greek word nemesion. The colours that it comes in is blue, purple, pink, white, red, orange, mauve, yellow, white and cream, and it blooms from late May to late September. Some interesting facts about the Nemesia is that the flower is in a genus of 70 species of perennial shrubs annuals in the Nemophila family. The flower belongs to Africa, and most popular species include Nemesia strumosa and Nemesia fruticans. The flowers in appearance are pretty and small, and they have tube-shaped leaves. These plants are used in hanging baskets, for edging. They have a sweet scent and they can be used for many ornamental purposes. The foliage can be concealed even if there are mild temperatures. They can be placed in a container as well, or as a bedding plant. It is a perennial or annual, and it suits pot arrangements, and they look great in garden boxes on a balcony. Nemesia's medicine use. According to the websites that I looked at, there is no medicine use for this. So how do you grow Nemesia? You should ensure that you water it regularly, ensuring that you don't overwater, and it's best to water when the surface containing substrate has dried up. You should ensure that you transplant the pots or seeds that you've got of the Nemesia in the ground in April, and the soil type that you should have is well-drained moist soil like sand or loam, and also ensure that the soil is alkaline, neutral or acidic in pH. The light that you should provide Nemesia is part sun for best growth or full sun, and the food that you should give them is Tomorite Weekly or Miracle Grow. When flowers have wilted, ensure that you cut them to encourage new flowers to grow. The third flower beginning with the letter N that I'm going to be talking about is the Nerine, also known as the Guernsey lily. Nerine is of Greek origin, coming from nymph daughters of the Nereid sea god. Good fortune and freedom are what Nerine symbolises. That Nerine comes in is orange, pink, white and red. The blooming time for it is summer and autumn. Some interesting facts about Nerine is that they are bulbs, perennials, and they can grow to 60 centimeters tall. They're in the genus of 25 species in the Amaryllidaceae family. They belong to Africa, and the flowers have bright petals. They last long. They have curled petals. They look good in garden beds, rocks, containers. The flowers are said to have floated from a shipwreck from the island of Guernsey in the English Channel, where they grow wild and are high in numbers. They have a long vase life of 10 to 14 days, so they're very popular to put in a vase. And many people think that the Nerine is a lily due to its other name called the Guernsey lily, but it is not, as it is closely related to the Amaryllis Brunsvigia and the Amaryllidaceae family. Flowers used to make hybrids are called Nerine baudeni and Nerine sarniensis, and many gardeners do this for more colourful and showier plants. And because it's easy to do, that's another reason why they like to do it, although good quality compost and perfect drainage are needed for hybrids to grow well in pots. For medicine use, there again is no known medicine use from the websites that I was using. If you grow the Nerine, you should ensure that you water it regularly. You should see in autumn that the flowers spike with a stem increase, and by winter there should be leaves, and you should stop watering when the foliage goes yellow. The soil type that you should use is well-drained, moist soil. There is no particular soil type or soil pH that's needed, and you should plant the Nerine baudani bulbs in autumn with 7 to 10 centimetres apart each one, and the sunlight that you should provide is full sun. The food that you should give the flower is high potassium rich liquid feed every 2 weeks from January to April. Over the first winter, give mulch, and you should wait a year for the flowers to prolifically grow. The fourth flower beginning the letter N that I'm going to be talking about is the Nerium, and this again is a Greek word, and Nerion means water or wet, as the plant grows in a lot of areas of riverbanks and streams, and the flower has symbols including destiny, romance, desire, everlasting love, charm and caution. That the Nerium comes in is pink, purple, white, cream, yellow and red. Nerium blooms in autumn, spring or summer. Some interesting facts about the Nerium is that you can find the Nerium on a tree or a shrub. The Nerium flower can grow up to 6 meters tall, and the Nerium oleander resembles the olive tree called Olea europea, and as there is a high similarity between both of these plant leaves, the Nerium oleander is highly poisonous. It can cause blurred vision, vomiting, nausea, serious heart problems and even death. The whole plant is deadly. Even if you burn it, it's toxic. As a result, in South Asian areas like Sri Lanka, the flower is used as a suicide plant, and if you eat this, then you need to ensure that you seek medical help immediately. Ensure that you wear gloves and long sleeves whenever you handle this plant. The flower is important in Christianity, where it is referred to as a rose. The flower grows in places near water, like the Jordan Valley. In different parts of the world, it is cultivated widely, with blooming times throughout the year. The Nerium is available in a variety of sizes and colours. There are many oleander cultivars, like the dwarf cultivars called Petite Pink and Petite Salmon. A legend called Oleander, who is deeply in love with a lady called Love, and he went to Hell's Point in Turkey, which connects the Sea of Marmara to the Aegean Sea, but he drowned in his attempt in getting there, and his body crashed against sharp rocks, and his lover found him with the beautiful oleander flower in his hand, and she took it as a symbol of their everlasting love. There is clearly quite a deep meaning behind this flower, and the plant is very low maintenance too if you were wanting to grow it. Medicine, the oleander can be used even though it's poisonous. It has a long medicinal herb history dating back about 3,500 years ago. It can treat eye ulcers, skin issues, hemorrhoids, cancer, tumours and epilepsy, according to the research that I did. Grow the Nerium, so you should ensure that you water it on an average basis, making sure that you don't water it every day between waterings, and make sure that the soil isn't dry. The soil type that you should use is a soil with a pH of 6.5 to 7.5, like well-drained sand, heavy clays, in areas that have salts like sodium chloride. When should you plant the Nerium? You should plant it in autumn or spring. When you first plant, make sure that they get acclimatized on the first day. Give them around 45 minutes to an hour of direct sunlight, and for the next few days add 30 minutes each day of direct sunlight, just to help them get used to the environment that they will be growing in. And the sunlight that you should provide them with is full sun or partial shade. The food that you should provide the Nerium is Miracle Grow Complete Fertilizer. This should be watered into the soil every 6 to 8 weeks. Our beginning of the letter N that I'm going to be talking about is the Nemophila, and this is my favourite flower in this video, and the meaning of this is success and victory. It derives from a Greek word. As you can see, there's definitely a pattern with a lot of these words coming from Greece, and it comes from the Greek word nemos, meaning love, glade or wooded pasture. Most species in this genus have baby blue eyes in their name due to their sky blue colour. For example, Nemophila spatulata is also known as Sierra baby blue eyes. That Nemophila comes in is blue and purple, and it blooms in winter or spring. And some interesting facts about Nemophila is that its foliage is very attractive, and at the tip of each petal of the Nemophila it has a rounded purple spot which makes it very distinctive. Hitachi Naka Ibaraki, In Japan, there is a wonderful park called Hitachi Seaside Park that has vast gardens of flowers, including an estimated 4 million Nemophilas. Hitachi Seaside Park, there are also other flowers, including tulips and daffodils, and the park is a very popular tourist destination, and it is best to visit in the spring, where there is an event called the Nemophila Harmony, and that's when the Nemophila flowers all bloom. Nemophila flowers grow over 3 to 5 hectare Meharashi hills that offers an impeccable view of the ocean, blue sky, and flowers that are 60 meters above sea level. Nemophila is a hardy annual, which means that it will grow all year long in one life cycle in one season. This means that the seedlings will happily survive during spring frosts. Medicine use, the Nemophila essence is said to help those who feel insecure and unsafe because of support during childhood, and it's said that it can help restore childlike trust and your soul's original innocence. According to Richard Katz and Patricia Kaminsky, the flower can help those who show defensive characteristics like emotional isolation, antisocial behaviour, those that show mistrust, and that this beautiful flower can help heal the soul's conflict, soften it. Finally, how do you actually grow the Nemophila? So you should ensure that you water it regularly. The soil type that you should use is well-drained, moist and cool soil, and you should plant in autumn in warm areas or spring after the last frost date, and you should space the seeds 4 to 16 inches apart if you're planting outside. If you're planting indoors, you should use peat pots with a 1 to 3 week germination time. Ensure that there is a temperature of 13 degrees, and the food that you should provide the Nemophila is soil that is organically rich with manure or compost, then it won't need fertiliser. The end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to check out other videos from the A to Z Flower Facts series, and please comment, like and subscribe.